Welcome back to Alphablocked. Starting off, again, with a big unlock for our letter A. We've got our dragon axe and a knife. So we can make ourselves arrow shafts. It's not a lot of experience, and it's basically, pretty much is the only thing you can do at level 1, unless we want to unlock headless arrows and bronze arrowheads and such and such. Can't make any bows, can't make any darts. I was thinking about doing some complicated thing with dragon fruit pies and boosting fletching levels to make other things. Arrow shafts is probably fine. It's not good experience. Not even a little bit. It's also a loss when using regular logs. So we are going to have to decide how far we want to take this. It's easy enough. We're very good at wood cutting, so that's not going to be the problem here. Just the actual fletching the arrow shafts is such low experience that we might be problematic. Here's a crop circle. So I have to figure out how high of a fletching level I want to get with arrow shafts. Ultimately, there's many good options for training fletching, but a lot of them go through a whole bunch of different items as you work through the skill. So we have to pick and choose what we want to unlock here. Fundamentally, we could go all the way to whatever fletching level we want with just arrow shafts, but that's obviously not a great choice. What with the whole incredibly slow experience thing. 5 each. There's a few different bows and such that are needed for various quests, so we might want to get ourselves to that position where we can make, I believe it might be oak shortbow or oak longbow is required in Ghosts Ahoy, I want to say. So we could get up to that level with just arrow shafts, and then that's an item we actually need to unlock. So that could work. I will do a bit of research into this again, see how we want to handle this. But even if we're just going for that, that's still going to be a significant amount of arrow shafts. So I'm going to be here for a while. There is our first milestone level here with fletching. Level 15. We can make iron arrows. But that's not what we really care about. Also, at level 15 fletching, we can switch from chopping down regular logs to make our arrow shafts into using our massive pile of oak logs. Bonus, this gives 10 experience instead of 5 and makes twice as many arrow shafts. Also a plus is a smaller loss of money making arrow shafts from oak logs than regular logs. Willow and maple are actually a profit, which is interesting, but we're not going to get to that level. We just need to get to where we can make the bows. And there is the end of arrow shafts. 25 fletching oak longbows. Now, we're going to have to unlock the unstrung longbow and the strong longbow for being able to get any fletching experience out of this, and then for the quest. But better than arrow shafts, that's for sure. Start up our tab for this round. Okay. So that's 25 fletching. That's a good start. Worst case scenario, we can make more arrow shafts, but it's not going to be very difficult to unlock this oak stuff. So we can continue on to the next letter. Hey, Drizzle. I'm back. I got your bucket of water, and now it's blessed. Now all we need to do is use this bucket of water on this coffin. But first, he's like, wait, I just blessed it. Where are you going? Well, obviously I'm going to make a temporary bank placeholder of blessed water. What else would I be doing? He's dealt with me quite a few times now. He should understand that I'm just going to leave and come back later. But this time it's actually going to be quick, because we can make a little bit more progress in this quest before we need another item. And we're back. Blessed water on the coffin. Very good. Now we can tell him he is free to leave. How he makes it past all the Zamorak guys downstairs is a question. Maybe he jumps out the window or something. At any rate, we are on to the last step of the quest, where we need to bring Drizzle 50 pure essence. Now, we have 25, so that's half of it. That's a good start. We're just going to run over here. Give Drizzle the first set of pure essence for fixing the well. Da-da-da-da. Oh, you need some rune stones? Got it. 25. Thank you. I need 25 more. Well, that's interesting. I'm not getting them for you. See you later. If we brought him the final 25 essence right now, we would finish the quest. And we can't be having that. So instead of doing that, we'll move on to C. We could have just went and picked up this item, but I ran this way instead, so we're just going to purchase it. Useful in a few quests. It's cadaver berries. Pretty cheap. Easy to get. Slots in nicely with my placeholdered blessed water and 23,000 arrow shafts. Very good. Very easy. If you look at our inventory, you might have an idea of where we're going next. Or not, because all the keys look identical, basically. So, we're going somewhere with a key to pick up our next item. The key in question is the door key over here in Witch's house. The item that we need is the diary. It's got information on how things work here, what we need to do to open this door, and all that questy goodness. And now we're going to leave to go get another bucket but this time, starting with E. Here is another NPC that's going to be incredibly confused by how we're doing this. We're over here, going to try Pier the Seer's trial. First, we need to solve a riddle, which doesn't require any items, so we can easily do this. And the answer is time. Enter. Puzzle solved. I guess the next question is, will the riddle be solved every time we come back in here? That's not typically a problem people have, but we're doing it the way we're doing it, so. There's a whole bunch of things you need to pick up in here to do this whole puzzle. But the item we're looking for is in this cupboard. It's a bucket named Empty Bucket. Different than previous buckets, which are just called Bucket. With this empty bucket, we can make a whole bunch of other kinds of buckets. It's pretty great. And slightly problematic. In this quest, there's a lot of items with this bucket that we already have unlocked. But we can't get there just yet. So instead of doing this quest the way you should, we're going to leave. If you leave this door, you'll fail the trial. Yep. And unfortunately, it takes my bucket. So we can't keep our bucket. It's unfortunate. That's just how it's going to be. So instead of doing this quest, we're going to go run off and start a different one. I found a staircase. I'm going to try to go down it. But I'm not allowed. So instead, we are going to help this dwarf. I'm going to become his friend. But it's not that easy. We are going to complete a fishing contest. This is one of those quests where, in order to start the quest, you have to get an item. In this case, the fishing pass. And that is our letter F item for this round. And we can even bank it. So that's convenient. We're going to be slightly disappointing this dwarf by not showing back up with the fishing contest trophy for, a while. But we can go and not disappoint some other short people. Hey, King Bolrin. I'm back. And I have returned with the Orbs of Protection. You would not believe how long that battle took. Yeah, that's why it took so long. Don't worry about it. The day is saved. And, for our efforts, we receive 11,000 attack XP, Spirit Tree access, and the Gnome Amulet. Which is, in fact, our G item. The stats on this bad boy: 13 defenses in the melee stats. Way more than the glory. But with no prayer, strength, mage or ranged defense, or accuracy bonuses. So, situational at best. But now we can use the spirit trees, kind of. We can go to the Grand Exchange. And then... yeah, it looks like we just use the spirit trees. I think they changed this at some point. One of the quests gives you access. I don't know. Anyways, it looks like we can just use spirit trees. That's pretty sweet. That's going to be pretty convenient for getting over to the Arty area for now. Since before we had to basically either use a minigame teleport to fishing trawler or run from Camelot. So some pretty nice travel options there. And some more quest points. Making progress. Got a string of items that we can just purchase here at the Grand Exchange. Starting with the letter H, we're getting another piece of the ham set. Ham boots. That is a high active trade price. If you say so. Yep, 4,500 coins for ham boots. How do these compare to our yellow boots? Yellow boots. They weren't very useful. For very long. Yep, identical stats to the ham boots. I guess it's just a fashion choice at this point. Okay, that's fine. We got the yellow boots because there was not many things starting with Y anyways, so. Having an identical pair of boots that are actually useful, that's okay. Next on the list, starting with I, another iron item. This time, the chain body. One of the two pieces of the guard outfit needed in Black Knight's Fortress. Nothing special in terms of stats. But useful for a quest. So that gets that put right here next to the boots. And next, starting with J, we're getting Jengerberries. Another letter with not too many options. I think these are used in a quest at least, so. Or whatever. Either way, we've got some Jengerberries now. Oh boy. When we don't have to go anywhere or do anything, this whole getting one thing from each letter, really, really simple. For K, we're getting a keg of beer. At a higher price. This is used in Fremnic trials. So we could have just walked over there, picked it up, but don't need to. We can just get it here. So that's another piece of the puzzle of the colossal puzzle that is Fremnic trials. Huge amount of items in that quest. Absolutely ridiculous. But we can keep working on it. And lastly here, starting with L, it's leather. Just leather. We need leather. For at least one quest. And it gives us some different training methods. Can we make leather gloves? That might have actually accessed us to crafting training here. I think we could. Yeah, we can make leather gloves. But we already have 13 crafting, so realistically, I'm not too concerned. Because we can just get to flax, and that'll be a lot less of a loss, I would assume, than leather gloves. Just compare the prices here. That is the equipment screen. That's not what we need. Leather is 153. Leather gloves are 15. So yeah. So we technically have unlocked crafting, but my goodness, it's not a great choice. We got the needle, we got the thread, we got the leather. We could make leather gloves all the way, but that's much like with some of our other first unlocks for various skills. Technically, that works, but it's not a good choice. So, I'm going to hold off training crafting until we have some better options than that. And leather gloves are like the worst, so yeah. Not a good plan. Next up, a couple of things in Varrock. Up here, to talk to Juliet, we told Romeo we would help him, so we ended up getting there in the end. Now we have the message. And that is our letter M item. This will allow us to make good progress into Romeo and Juliet, which we mostly care about because of the large amount of quest points involved. And we already have the Cadaver berries, so we're making good progress. So we talked to Romeo for a bit, and then we get to talk to Father Lawrence. Easy enough. But on our way over there, let's get a newspaper. 50 coins? Sure. And that is an easy task in Varrock. Also, we can read the newspaper. Ah, we didn't bank the message. What a useful newspaper. Oh boy. Unfortunate. I like to see all the items at the end of the round, even if it doesn't really matter. So, we missed another one, but we all know about it. I will make a note of that for the end of the episode. Talk about that we accidentally gave Romeo the message for him. That's okay. Now we're learning from Father Lawrence that we need to get the Cadaver potion. We've got the berry, but the potion comes next. Moving on, back to the Grand Exchange. We're going to get another item. This one starts with O. This is going to be an item that more permanently unlocks a skill. Previously, we had access to train this skill, but this is going to really change the game here. Make everything a better time. It's made of oak, and it's a rectangle. It's oak planks. With this, we can effectively train as much construction as we want. Starting with the first things in the workshop that are made of oak, moving on to tables and larders and dungeon doors, all that jazz. Wall access to other planks is probably going to happen for various quests and things. Oak planks will get the job done. Let's slot these in here. Missing the message. We have a newspaper and a plank. Our next item, very similar to the Kadava berries. It makes a Kadava potion, which is a bit of a poison. Not as bad as this poison, though. Because this one's more of deadly. At least to piranhas. And a few other things. We have got this item now. Another off the list for Ernest the Chicken. Very good. And now it is that time of the episode where we state the 4 things that start with Q that we can't get. Quick Lime, Queen's Secateurs, Quest Point Cape, Quest Point Hood. Yay! Now, things we can get. We want to progress in the quest the Knight's Sword. To do so, we just need to talk to Reldo. And he will tell us all about the Encamdo Dwarves. And their love of red berry pies. To continue on in this quest, that is precisely what we're going to need. So I'm going to go and purchase myself a red berry pie. The Knight's Sword is fully mapped out right now because it is incredibly useful to complete. The smithing XP will be fantastic. But we're not quite there yet. Having Thurgo indebted to us is definitely going to make this physically possible. So let's get ourselves the red berry pie. Or not. Let us get the red berry pie. You see, that number is smaller, actually. We're going to go with 1,000. There we go. 350 coins for a red berry pie. No problems here. I'm not sure how far our current cash stack is going to get us. I mean, we could train construction right now and spend literally all of it, but I don't know if we really need to do that. So, in the grand scheme of things, 700k is not too much. Let's go make friends with a dwarf. Hey, Thurgo. I just learned that literally all Encamdo dwarves love red berry pie. He likes it, though. I'm sure it's okay. How would you like to make a sword for me? He says, yes, but he needs a picture. If we talk to the squire over here in Falador, he will tell me right where I need to go to get a picture of the sword. Unfortunately, a picture of a sword is an item in this case, so we can't touch it yet. what we can touch is over here in a house. One of my favorite locations to grab this item. Just need to finagle my way through the door, and we can grab a spade. Look at the digging power. Look at that. Lots of stuff that we need to dig. Useful for many quests, getting to places, farming, all kinds of good stuff when you have a spade. Next up, another training method. Better than what we already had. It's not a good place to bank the item. But as far as training locations are concerned, this location here on the Isle of Souls is a fantastic place to chop teak logs. Very good wood can XP. Very good. While I was going through the list of things that we can do with the spade, I found a very interesting one. It was actually the only item we needed to complete another quest. So I'm going to fill up these last 3 inventory spaces with teak logs, and then go complete a quest with our spade. Using our spade over here on this bit of sand, we find the quote-unquote possessed doll. But it's just a clockwork. No problems here. So we can go and tell... Well, I guess we don't have to go and tell him. We could go and tell him. I guess we will. We knock the cook. That's not the curse of the Corsair curse. It was just a clockwork toy. So we're still trying to find the curse here. And unfortunately, we got a little bit trigger happy, and we cannot complete the Corsair curse. I slightly misinterpreted the way I have laid this out. And just for an example of how things are going, here is what it looks like. This is what my list of how things work actually works for this whole series. Yeah. It's like this. Things in green that we have or have started, things in yellow we can get, things in white that we can't get, can't start, things in red that we shouldn't start. It's literally a hot mess. And this is just the free to play, or part of free to play quest right there. So, yeah. Off my screen. It's having a hard time. Okay. Dual monitors. It almost works. So, we cannot complete Corsair Curse. So we're going to move on to the next thing. Back at the Grand Exchange for our next 2 items. Continuing the trend of getting uncuts for you, it is the Uncut Opal. Used in the dig site quest, and I suppose a step towards being able to mine gem rocks. A fairly useful unlock, and it's a quest item, so can't complain too much. Next up, the first item, starting with V, that's not Void Knight stuff. We're going to get ourselves a regular old vial of water. Very cheap, very simple. And depending on how we unlock things, could be useful for training in various ways. And just useful to avoid having any problems where quests give us vials of water or we have to use a vial of water at least a few times in quests. But not too many options in V anyway, so just a vial of water. Nice and simple. Next up, actually completing a quest. Compared to other times that we've left Drezel, we're actually here pretty quick. I brought you some more essence. And that's enough to finish Priest in Peril. We get some prayer experience, access to Mauritania, a quest point, and our W item, Wolfbane. Talk to him a little bit more, and he'll allow us to head through to Mauritania. Level 24 prayer. Very cool. A little free prayer XP right now is not too bad, because our only way to train prayer is doing things with regular bones, so Mauritania has a lot of unlocks and opportunities for us. More quests that we can start, all sorts of good stuff. But we'll worry about that later. Because right now, we're going back to raids. To get an item that starts with X. Because there are no other options. But this one should be a little bit quicker than the last one. That one only took 24 minutes. Plus a little bit of resetting to get a favorable raid. We managed to clear out the skeletal mystics and move on to the vanguards. Oh. Okay. That's okay, that's fine. We can work with this. I picked up the Xerix Aid Plus and then died. So, again, showing how much raids I do. I do recall that this is a thing now. When you die, you drop items. So, right over here somewhere, there's going to be a Xerix Aid on the ground. I suppose we can just run in and pick it up. Maybe. It's on the map? Yeah, there it is. Let me just take that. Yoink. Xerix Aid Plus. Now we've unlocked the normal and the superior version of this. And all the doses are just doses, so those are all the same thing. But there we go. 2 out of 3. And I believe I have figured out a solution to get the Xerix Aid minus, but we'll have to worry about that next round. Just 2 items left to get. Let's finish this. Starting with the letter Y. We're gonna get Yanilian Seed. An eventual source of farming experience and a bit of profit. Now, we have not unlocked most of the things that we need for farming yet, so someday Someday we will plant this seed. And finally, another Zamorak item. It's Zamorak page 2. See if we can get a reasonable price on this. 48k. Sounds alright to me. Okay, W, X, Y, and Z. So we're missing quite a few of the items this time. See, we only have 22. The other 4 are the Xerix Aid Plus, anything that started with Q, the message from Romeo and Juliet, and the empty bucket in Frenetic Trials. Overall, we ended up managing to complete a few quests, technically unlock crafting, technically unlock fletching, and unlocking a very good option for construction and woodcutting. We're getting close to unlocking all the skills, making good progress towards smithing, and then besides that, we still need to unlock the better options for herb lore, cooking, crafting, fletching, re-unlocking Slayer. Probably have to do something better with rune crafting. And then another 2 skills that are not really unlocked: Hunter and Farming. Farming, technically unlocked, but of the unlocked technically skills, Farming is definitely the worst. I'm not going to train my Farming at Hosidius Plows. So, we've got a lot of things coming still. As far as total level, we're at 840. Not bad. Bank value is down to 3.8 mil. Still more than half of that is Marks of Grace. Overall, making progress. Also making progress in mapping out the rest of the quests, but it is a slow process. We've got more quests to continue, more training methods to unlock, more of pretty much everything. Next time. Goodbye.